My name is Deidre Hall
My name is Antoine Hall.
from Raleigh, North Carolina. Speak to Life is sharing ideas,
Presenting options,
creating solutions for you.
your family, and the community.
Speak to Life.
I'm not gonna look.
All right, right. Fantastic. So good to have you, Antoine and Deidre, here on Speak to Life, the Afterlife Show.
That's
Thank
right.
you for having us.
Thank you, Antoine. Thank you, Deidre.
Thank you.
It's good to see y'all. And we're still here. We got Lee Stewart in Phoenix, Arizona with Anna Lynn. We got Lola in Brooklyn at Natalie's Garden. We got Rita-Renee in Georgia. And we have Thayer Barkley in Connecticut, all watching and being a part of Speak to Life. Anna Lynn?
Yes. That was just an awesome show talking about covering up in the garden. And there were so many conversations that we couldn't fit in that were just spilling over that we're going to be able to cover here. So I'm excited to get that conversation going.
Yes, it is. We're definitely going to keep the conversation going. For all those who didn't know, today's topic was cover yourself in garden life here on Speak to Life. So let's first jump with Deidre and Antoine. Annalyn, you start the questioning.
So I know that you both are in Raleigh, North Carolina, and you've been doing gardening there, but you've got a pretty big vision beyond just what you're going to be able to do there in your own backyard, but help others. Can you tell us a little bit more about your vision and what you're doing with homesteading?
Yeah, so we have this goal to be able to get a homestead. We're doing some urban homesteading right now in the home that we're renting in, but we want to be able to get out on property to which we already own. So that's the first step. But to be able to produce enough food to be able to start to feed our neighbor, then feed our local neighbors beyond, and then feed the rest of the community. And that's something that's kind of been placed on our hearts to do, and we've just kind of started here where we are. I mean, we didn't let not having an area that we can't dig in because we're renting stop us. We just kind of went forward and built planters, used pots, 5-gallon buckets, whatever we can kind of get our hands on to put dirt and seeds in. Just started from there.
That's wonderful. And you're even using hydroponics as well, which a lot of people might think it's used for just one thing, but you can grow quite a few things with hydroponics, correct?
Yes, you can. So we have a setup in our garage. I have bus pans from restaurants. I have 4 of them set up, and I've grown collard greens. I've grown lettuce. Green onions are there now. I have oriental greens and basil. Basil does really well in the summertime, even with the heat in the garage.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I know that you're a dynamic duo there. So not only, I know you definitely have your green thumb, Antoine, and Deidre, you're actually doing a lot with sewing these days, and you were starting to make masks well before the COVID-19 pandemic kicked off. Tell us more about that and how it's grown in this time.
Yeah, I started a while back, just really because my daughter, she works out on a horse farm, and we have a really bad pollen season here. And I figured with her being out there with all the dust and the pollen and all that other kind of stuff, she needed something to cover her face. And I wanted it to be something quick and easy that she can just put on. So the first mask that I made for her was really just a quick snap on. It covered her whole face. I used a type of material that was breathable. It wasn't too heavy. And she could just snap it around her head and use it that way. And it covered her face and her neck. And then I went to making them like regular masks. And then COVID happened, and here in North Carolina, they started a North Carolina Mask Warriors group. And I volunteered making masks for the medical personnel here and for medical personnel that I personally knew. then next thing I know, people started asking me, hey, do you have any? Can I buy some? So it kind of snowballed from there. And that's what I'm doing.
That's fantastic. Dre, did you have any questions?
I got a question. I got a question. So Deidre and Antoine, you guys have some kids there, don't you?
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
have two.
You have two.
Yes.
Tell us a little about the young lady who's equestrian.
Aspiring equestrian, maybe. She volunteers on a horse farm. So she takes care of all of the horses there. She goes once a week. In exchange for volunteering, the owner has offered to give her lessons. So she just started doing lessons now, and she likes it a lot. And I think that we might end up maybe one day getting some kind of horse or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think of all the excuses why that should not happen. But
Well, at least you'll have the homestead for it.
And I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
But
The son
we
is an
don't-
Olympic swimmer. He's going to be trying out
yes,
for the
we
Olympic
have
team swimming
we have
along with your
two.
daughter.
She and her brother. We have a son. He's 13, and they both are competitive swimmers. And actually, our son is number 1 in our region for the 50 fly, and number 2 in our region for the 100 fly. So he's a at the top of the game up there. So we have to feed them, which is why we
Have a garden.
have a garden.
Well, and you're feeding them the right things
Wow,
too to keep them healthy.
We're trying. I don't know if the food doesn't grow fast enough.
Right.
Well, it seems like when you decide to start making masks, and I want to bring Thayer into this conversation. Is she there, Thayer?
So Thayer, Dre's asking, he made a comment that, obviously you had this vision of being able to do this well before COVID-19 to make these masks as you were traveling between Connecticut and Manhattan and seeing people cough and, just it kind of, put a concern in your mind. So how significant was that you were able to start making these masks before this pandemic hit?
Well, it was pretty significant. At first, I didn't tell anybody because I was like, all right, let me just make them and get the right material and go by the instructions that I was receiving. And I also had filed for the U.S. Trademark and Patents Division. And it's funny because when I finally launched the mask, that came in the mail 3 days later because I kept waiting. I'm like, I don't want to launch it. And I kept seeing, there was a need. And then I finally launched it. And it was like, how did you know that? And it's funny because Sinbad is one of my customers. And I had spoken to him about the mask before the pandemic. And he makes a joke and said, oh, so you're the reason why this happened because of my friend. I'm like, no, that's not funny, right?
No, I don't think so. But just please let us all know here. We're all family now, right? So if you get some other visions, some other things that are kind of forewarning, let us know, would you?
Right.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. For sure. And I didn't know the multitude. I didn't understand it. I just knew that everybody was going to need one, and people were like, well, we don't wear masks, who's going to wear masks? I'm like, I'm telling you, everybody's going to need one. And people who I did tell kind of thought I was nuts, and I was like, okay, but I'm going to keep making it. I'm going to still keep making it, or have been making it. But like I said, I don't sew. I'm not a Rita. I can't sew on a button. So
but you had to also, because it was just, you shared before that there was that stirring in you, and it was just, you knew that you had to, so there was no denying it. There was
correct.
Something, even if you didn't fully understand it, and others, you couldn't really share it with, but you just knew it was something you had to do. Right.
And I knew exactly how they needed to be made. I mean, I was like, this is the way it needs to be, and I need to have the pocket, and I need to have this, and I knew exactly how it needed to be made. So I was able to tell the seamstress, and she was able to bring it into fruition.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
it's pretty
powerful.
exciting. So I just look back and go, wow, God, that was amazing.
Most definitely. Well, and I can relate to that. You can get visions for things that, again, most people may not understand. I won't go into the full story, but a vision I had 6 years ago that was so powerful, it shifted everything in my world. Took me out of, my IT sales background that I've been in for 14 and a half years and shifted me to, I didn't know what I would be doing, that I would start a nonprofit organization, that I'd be co-hosting a show with Dr. Dre. But I knew the vision was so powerful, and all I could see were just silhouettes of millions of people, just millions of people that I was to help. And I'm glad I followed the vision, and I'm glad you followed that vision. And usually you'll get it ahead of time, before something comes, before it makes sense. And I'm sure there's other, other guests on here that may have similar stories, because everyone here is doing something so powerful and important, and something that you all are passionate about.
And keep Deidre and Antoine hanging around, because it's the afterlife here with Speak to Life. It's the show after the show. We're just trying to cover yourself and do it in garden life. Here on Speak to Life.
My name is Deidre Hall.
And my name is Antoine Hall, and we're from Raleigh, North Carolina.
And you're watching Speak to Life now.
And we're on Speak to Life now.
Okay, we're here still with Lee in Phoenix, Arizona.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Lee.
Hi.
So I know, Lee, we were having just a really incredible conversation on the show, and you had some feedback and some comments you wanted to make for Rita when she was talking about the wood chips.
Oh, yes. I just wanted to clarify something for you, Rita, that when I speak about wood chips, I'm speaking about all organic, natural wood chips that are coming maybe from a wood chipper or from a arborist. Just making sure that when you do use wood chips, that you're not buying the colored wood chips, because they do have the dyes in them. At the urban farm, anytime I create gardens for people, I never put any wood chips that have any kind of chemicals, dye. I don't use recycled rubber or anything like that. I use real wood chips from arborists that I'm connected with here locally, that we lay down the natural wood chips, and they're actually coming from other trees, not from a manufacturer.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Because I figured you weren't using those, and I knew I was trying to follow the directions of a subdivision. I'm not sure if everybody understands that the strict codes that they can oftentimes have when you live in a community, where they even try to regulate whether or not you can have a garden and what your garden can have in it even. So even with us presently, we're thinking of transitioning the next step to get out of a subdivision situation so we can have more control over the land in which we have. And specifically with the wood chips, I knew that those red ones were not natural, and I didn't think it was a good idea, but I let my landscaper put it down, and then within a year, the poor tree looks like it's had it, and I understand. So that's why I was trying to get feedback from you guys who actually do this every day, specifically Lola, Lee, and Thayer. Like if Thayer and Lola, you guys said, Rita, try neem oil, try hemp oil, spray that tree, put something around the tree to give it life. If I even have to soak it in oils or whatever and wrap it, you know what I'm saying, near the trunk to give it some kind of boost, then that's something that I'm willing to do, because I would hate to have to pay $700 for somebody to come cut this tree down in my front yard.
Oh, that would be really sad.
Yes.
Would it be possible?
You know, something that might help you too, Rita, is to pull all those wood chips out away from that tree and amend it. Maybe put some natural things like worm casting, and that you can get from a local farmer, or we here in the valley have locations that I buy all my natural stuff from in bulk, because I can't produce all of it that much at the massive gardens that I build. But you can do that, and just some, compost, that kind of thing. There's just different amendments that are natural. Azomite is an amazing natural mineral that comes from the earth that can probably help that tree a little bit. Just have to kind of give it time, but definitely, pull all that colored wood chip away. I don't even know why they categorize it wood chip, actually, when it's really not wood chip.
Right.
So yeah, never use anything that is, man-made or natural or has any kind of color in it. But hopefully just give that tree a little bit of TLC and just, watch over it. And, you're always welcome to contact me and maybe send some pictures, and I can probably help you navigate through that a little bit more.
Okay. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Another thing that I'm thinking too, I don't know if it's possible, but maybe what you can do, because I agree, pulling the wood chips away that the HOA told you to put down, and once you amend it and you put down some natural wood chips, and then maybe you can put like a small barrier around it on top, and then put what you were supposed to have on top of that, so it'll look like it's there, but your tree is actually being fed by all of the natural things too, with the barrier on top.
Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you.
And maybe we need to get some of the hemp soil, right? Some of the hemp Thayer that you had talked about.
Well, you have to be careful with hemp because it depends on what state you live in if you're even able to grow hemp. So you have to be careful with that. Because in Connecticut, not everybody can grow hemp. You have to apply for a license and be able to be certified and all this other stuff. So that's traditional Native American. That's what they used to do. So I don't know about now because it's very regulated.
So you're saying that even if I wanted to put hemp down, it might be an issue.
Yeah, it might be illegal.
Wow.
Well, because
and I don't do jail. I'm sorry. I don't look good in stripes unless it's Prada. I'm sorry.
If you keep growing it, it kind of turns into the marijuana. It turns into cannabis.
You don't need to tell me that. We're gonna have issues. Miss Rita, she's got growing weed in the front yard. She doesn't even care.
Right.
We don't want to do that.
Well, Rita, something
just
that is really
trying nature too. That's all you tell them.
Something that's really important is that you just give it time. The thing about growing your own food, your own fruit trees, is it takes time. Just like when you get a sore or a wound, or you have to go through surgery, your body takes time. It needs time to heal and regenerate the good organisms and and heal itself. So you just have to be patient. That's one of the things that I think people don't understand. We're so used to going to the grocery store and we get food right away. We just put it in our basket, but it's a process from sowing the seed until you actually get the harvest. So anything like that you're trying to help and heal and reamend and get back to its full healthy state, it's going to take time. So the biggest thing is just to be patient with your process and really pay attention. So
thank you. It's funny because when I did pull the wood chips away, artificial wood away 2 or 3 days ago, and then a big rainstorm came last night, and I could tell the tree even looks better just overnight.
Oh, awesome.
And I was just like, wow, this is gonna help now. This other stuff got to go. Because I'm not a big fan of all the birds on my deck and getting it and hitting me and all of that, but I just don't want to ruin. If they can breathe and I can breathe, that's my thing. If there's no life around me, something's wrong. If the birds, where the bees? And that's the other question. Where are the bees? Anybody can tell me? Because I used to have a lot of bees in my front yard. Yeah. Where are the bees?
They're here, Rita. Actually, on my urban farm, I actually have I have bees. Dual purpose. One is on the urban farm to help pollinate the vegetables and the citrus trees, and secondly, every year I get a beautiful harvest of pounds and pounds and pounds of honey that I get to. Sometimes I sell it, sometimes I share it, but real local honey, which is so amazingly wonderful for you.
So you're telling me we're in the wrong state. My son, that's awesome.
We have bees here on the urban farm, and it's beautiful. It's awesome. So pretty much everything that we can have here to sustain ourselves and be eco-conscious is what we really strive for.
Sharing these ideas, presenting these options, and of course, finding solutions, creating solutions for you, your family, and community is what Speak to Life is all about. And we want to thank our wonderful guests, Ms. Deidre and Antoine. Thank you so much.
Thank
Welcome.
you.
We want to thank Thayer Barkley for being in the house with us from Connecticut. We want to thank Rita-Renee, Georgia.
Thank you.
And of course,
Yay!
we want to thank Lee from Phoenix, Arizona,
Thank you.
and the one and only Lola from Brooklyn, New York. As we got the everybody stay tuned. Check out our Facebook page. It's called Speak to Life. Don't forget to check out our other social media pages. Speak to Life Now on LinkedIn. What's it called? LinkedIn, Twitter, and
Instagram.
what's the third one there, Annalyn?
And Instagram.
Instagram. That's it. See, I'm getting a blank because I got this mask on. It's starting to asphyxiate me. What can I say? Thanks everybody. Thanks for the conversation. And I'm very happy that I'm in the greenhouse in Brooklyn with Lola and company in Manley's Garden. And man, I got to not socially distance so I can take the mask off so I can breathe.
Yes, get those oxygen levels
so
back
much.
up.
Thanks to our producers, Pete Snow, Bernadette Floyd, Anthony Shelton. Thank you so much for putting it all together. Thank Patty D for stopping through. And thank Russell in the UK for giving a shout out. Tommy in Japan. And of course, Tara in Nigeria. Thank you all. And of course, it's still my son's birthday. Because it's going to be his birthday. It's his 21st birthday. Happy birthday, Aramis. And we'll see you next time on.
Happy Ron, Speak to Life now.
Speak to life.
Speak to life
Speak to
now.
life now.
Thanks for
Speak to
joining
life.
us for the
Speak to life now.
afterlife.
Thank you.